Okay, hello everyone. Yep. So this is my first, my first um, recording of Football Manager, and so actually, Football Manager is one of my most like one of my favorite, PC games or games to play, and like I have been playing this game since, for I think the first time I played it, let me say like 10 years ago, and that was like Football Manager 2016, 2017 ish or so. And from that point, I fell in love with it. The attention to detail, everything was like top notch. Thumbs up and kudos to Sega Interactive for making this. Okay, so this is Football Manager 2024, and I'm starting a new league with Bristol City. So I actually choose to use Bristol City because I really want it to be competitive. I really want to experience the feeling when you go into a club that is of little stature and then you work your way towards promotion. So you apply all your tactical genius and things like that. And one thing I love with this game is that it helps to keep me up to date with player profiles and things like that, especially when I argue with my friends concerning football. And by the way, my favorite football club, the one I support, is actually Liverpool FC. So sometimes when I'm like, okay, let me give some suggestion, that kind of like feeling or that vibe, when the transfer window comes on, and then you just want to give your own input. Oh, I think my team should sign this. I think my team should sign this. Or you want to determine the skill or the quality level of a particular player in the opposition. This is one thing that can help. Trust me, any player that deals with you in this game will definitely have an impact. Most times, anyways, it means they are top quality in real life. So just follow along, right? Along the way, I would say stuff in Pidgin because Pidgin English, which is the common lingua in Nigeria, or as Nigerian, or as a Nigerian. So bear with me, everyone, and I'm sure that you're going to learn and enjoy it. Yes. So I would also be adding some of my commentary on this. So I decided to join this team, Bristol City. Oh no, they hired me because of how good I am. You understand? No, I too good. So Bristol City have today confirmed the appointment of Chief Oso. By the way, also they are my nations, anyways. You'll find out about that later. As the club's new manager, eyebrows have been raised in the football world at the appointment of the inexperienced 31-year-old. Who is inexperienced? You know how long I've been playing this game. And he's sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Ashton Gate. He replaces previous manager Liam Manning. Now, a couple of things which I will be skipping in this game because I just feel like it's just to some extent a waste of time, in my own opinion, and I wouldn't be doing them. They include number one, attending press conferences, questions, sometimes responding to players, though that has an effect on player performances anyways. But mostly skipping press conferences. That's the major one. Most times I don't like attending them. So I don't know which manager does that a lot. I think Jose Mourinho, he is the press, or he doesn't really like them. So I'll be skipping that. Okay, so let's get right into the thick of it. And I also choose Bristol City because, obviously they were red, so let's get them from the Championship to the Premier League and compete with the big boys. Okay, so go next. And by the way, pardon me if you notice some sluggishness. My system probably would be slow because, I don't know, but let's see. Go back a bit. Hopefully I can go back. Okay, yes, so they have welcomed me by the chairperson of the club. Their reputation is a little bit above average, a 3-star, and the media, they're predicting us to finish 14th in the championship. Okay, and then this is when it was founded. Fierce rival, they are Bristol Rovers. So for fierce rivals, Bristol Rovers, the fans will be expecting that anytime I play against this team, I do not lose. I do not lose, no matter what it is. All right, so I need to always remember that. And in the upcoming season, so these are what they are looking forward to, for the team to build on their meetable finish, last season. So last season they finished 14th. They're expecting to finish above that. And then I entered first round, and this is a bit of history about the club. Feel free to pause the video and then read through if you want. Okay. And then facilities and everything, transfer budget 7 million, finances, wage budget. Now this part is one of the most interesting parts when it comes to Football Manager for me, because it's because I also love finance and money management. So I'm kind of like that kind of as a Wenger-ish FSG match, so FSG the owners of the football club, and then as a Wenger who is also a shrewd business person and managing resources. So I try to maximize, the resources I have. I mean, most times I pay what is needed anyways. Yes, I pay what is needed to get a player I truly want. So that's a bit of the intro about the club and then the welcoming note. So let's take a look at the players I have. So they play a kind of 4-2-3-1 formation, which is good, not so bad. But actually, I don't like the two defensive midfielders thing. I would rather prefer a two central midfielders rather than a defensive midfielders, because I prefer creativity. And out of those two central midfielders, I'd prefer one to be somebody who is physical and can actually act like you can say a box to box, or act as someone who would shield the defense. So he will be more defensive, even though he's a central midfielder, and he can break or stop attacks. While the other one would be someone who looks to dictate play, dictate tempo, and then looks to receive the ball from the midfielders and then give it to one of the attacking players. Okay, I don't know any of these players. I don't think maybe Naismith, if this is the same Naismith we used to know. Okay, we'll look at all this later on. Most times I don't bother about this information because it's just too much stuff. So proceed. Okay, so this is the long-term vision of the club and what they want me to achieve within the next couple of years. So one of them would be, our vision is to develop players through the youth system. Is important. It's required that I work within the wage budgets, and then the desire that I sign players that I would look to sell for a profit. Hey, okay. And then in 5 years' time, they want me to be competitive in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup, and then record a top half finish in the Skybet Championship. But for me, I am aspirational, so I want to promotion, like get to the playoffs and get to promotion. I want to go Champions Leagues. Let me face, the big boys one-on-one and then teach them a lesson, because I don't like nonsense, you understand? And at this point in time, my contract finishes. You guys will give me another contract now when I'll deliver the goods to you. I won't try. Okay, then talking about the supporter liaison, what the supporters would want. The supporters, they desire that I finish in the top half. I mean, similar to what the club and the board actually want anyway. So there is no need to push too much for this. Okay, so here are some emails as part of my induction into the club. Scouting induction scheduled for 2 days. For some of these, I probably wouldn't partake in them. I mean, I know what they would give us anyways, or what they will give me. Why I'm doing this is because I just want us to skip through many of these and go right into the thick of things, where analyze how the football matches are being played and make changes, as needed, and then we see that in game play and action, and then we make decisions. And by the way, when I make decisions within a particular match, please feel free to let me know or tell me if you feel I could have made a better decision, and all that, based on whatever I would show you, maybe player attributes, what they prefer, their player their position, and things like that. Okay, moving next, and then last, they want me to schedule a press conference. Last of all, if you want any of the following to be arranged, please tell me. I would like to congratulate you once again and wish you the very best of luck. By the chairperson, arrangement, schedule a press conference to meet the media, arrange an intra-squad friendly to assess the squad when possible, arrange a meeting with the backroom staff. Now, because I really don't want to waste your time, if I was doing this on my own, I probably may do some of this, based on I'll have the time, and then it probably will be boring anyways because it's not really competitive. Like I can lose 10-15-0 for example, and it's nothing compared to doing that in an actual game. You understand? So arrange a meeting with backroom staff. I would choose to do this every month because it just takes a lot of time. A meeting with the press conference, no, like I said, I don't like meeting with the press conference. Meeting with the press rather. Arrange an intra-friendly to assess the no. I would just rather guess player qualities or how good they are from their metrics, the data they have on their player profile. Okay, so save this. Let's save this. Where's the last one I saved? Okay, save it here. Not bad, save. Yes. Okay, saving. Also takes charge of Bristol City. I have been hired. Now, let's prepare and get into the thick of things. And just in case, you may want to double the speed of the video if you want. So, here's an introduction. We don't need to see all the supporter player profile update. So, this is a picture of the stadium and the places we have, the supporters, type of supporters or categories of supporters where they stay in the stadium, right? So this is one thing I love with Football Manager. Like, it gives you the dynamics of the arrangement of clubs, the structure and things like that. Okay, so from here you can see that the hardcore supporters, like those that are do or die will remain with this club, they prefer sitting here, right? While the other core supporters, which many of us may belong to, things like that, they sit here. It's a larger place. And then family of the footballers or supporters, they sit here. Fair weather, should we? Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't come, they sit here. And then corporate, those that really don't have so much time, to sit here. So we have all this. We've talked about what my expectations, what they expect from me. So let's attend to the club vision and expectation, what they want, and see. So they are reserving judgment on all these expectations from me. So we'll see. And do I want to negotiate and tell them no, I will achieve more or less? No, let's just leave it the way it is. Let's accept the current vision. Bristol City is in the last year of their contract, and the King. Most of these players. So I'm someone who prefers like signing my own players, right? So many of these I wouldn't keep. So recently signed, so nothing to do. Offer a new contract to this person. It's probably good. Let's see. Just has acceleration and pace. And by the way, for acceleration and pace, something I've learned in this game is acceleration and pace, the difference, they are very similar and sometimes they are being used interchangeably. But I think the difference is, for one of them, I don't know which one exactly, tell me in the comment section if you know. One of them has to do with how fast can a player run when they are with the ball. So the player is holding the ball, how fast can they move? While the other one is how fast can they move from their starting position, towards their target or wherever they want to go to. So most times what I look for when signing a player, especially my wingers and sometimes my striker, my wingers, wing backs and striker, I want them to have acceleration and pace, one of them, because I want a defender that, when an opponent gets past, they're able to run quickly to try and cover or block that opponent who will probably have a goal scoring opportunity. The same thing for my attackers. I need speedy wingers who can beat a defender and run fast, and the defender will not be able to catch them, and then they create goal scoring opportunity. So that's what I look for in that regard. Okay, so that's it for this guy. He's an attacking midfielder, right? But he doesn't have dribbling or crossing. Those are some of the things I also like in an attacking midfielder. Also, finishing maybe not so much, but has dribbling, crossing, and passing. Not so much passing anyways, but especially for dribbling, because I want them to be able to cut in, be able to dribble and cut in, and maybe take a shot or give a pass. But this one, he has dribbling 11, first touch. First touch relates to how they can control the ball, immediately as it is passed onto their feet or something like that. Okay, so give him a contract. Let's just apply, the recommended actions, and then we'll move on. Tactics induction. Create a tactic. Okay, let's quickly create this. I like it because I'll definitely use it anyway. So for me, I prefer two types of, or let me say three types of tactics: the Gengen press, tiki-taka, and vertical tiki-taka. But I prefer the vertical tiki-taka. So the difference between this is both of them are kind of like almost the same thing, but vertical tiki-taka is like, instead of the players passing the ball sideways amongst themselves, sideways to the front, to the back, among themselves, sideways, they would look towards passing the ball forward, more either forward or backward. So either they are going back to recycle the play, or they are going forward to create goal scoring opportunity. But we will use the tiki-taka. And another thing is, I don't want to use Gengen pressing because it requires like intense running and things like that. And by the way, control possession is what and a slot, please, for Liverpool. So we use tiki-taka, and this is what it entails. So let's create a formation. I prefer a 4-2-3-1. I prefer a 4-2-3-1, but not this kind of 4-2-3-1. So I would just adjust this. Okay, yes, just confirm that. And then I can adjust this one. So this is what I prefer. But then I want this person to be a ball-winning midfielder, because I want someone who is strong, right? And then they should be one that can defend. Remember, I talked about this earlier. And then for here, I don't want an advanced playmaker. I usually go for either an advanced playmaker or a box-to-box midfielder. Okay, no, let's use this one, a box-to-box midfielder. Because I need someone who can, defend and attack. Support defend. While for this attacking midfielder, I prefer a shadow striker. Someone who can get some goal scoring opportunities and things like that. So they are more attacking minded. And this, I prefer an inside forward who can actually cut in and then shoot short like a Cody Gakpo kind of style. I'm sorry, I use for anyone watching this, you can relate this with young players in your various clubs and tell me the style they play. The same thing for this one too, an inside forward. I'm kind of like a Mohamed Salah. So the difference also between this one and the winger, as far as I know, is the winger will always look to go to the byline and then maybe cross the ball or beat their player and go in. While an inside forward will look to go into these channels and then either shoot, or give a pass or something like that, something like this. Okay, so which is what I'm looking for. And I want, my wing backs to be automatic. Just determine what you want to do. I don't need to tell you. The same thing with this. Okay, so we'll leave it like this. Let's see. So in possession, what do I want? I want a much shorter passing, lower tempo. No, I want a faster tempo, slightly faster. So I don't want them to pass sluggishly. Time wasting, no. Walk ball into the box, hit early crosses, shoot on sight. Okay, no. Just try to walk the ball into the box, all right? Dribbling, be more expressive, pass into space, because I want them to pass the ball and then let someone pick it up. Focus passing through. overlap, someone who goes over. So I want them to play narrowly, so a little more compact. In transition, so that's for that, right? And then in transition, I think this is good. Hold your shape. When possession has been won, try to counter. Actually, don't hold your shape. When possession has been lost, counter press. So quickly hurry to get the ball back. For a goalkeeper, please distribute it quickly. Distribute to players here alongside this region. Distribution type, just roll it out. Okay. Roll it out. Yeah, something like that. Let's pass it shorter to those at the back here. Then, out of position or possession, what do I want? I want them to get stuck in, right? To be more aggressive in their tackle. Otherwise, it's easy for stronger teams to bully me and then, and then score. Defensive shape, drop off a little more. So I want them to come back and then defend. Trap inside or outside. So the pressing trap, I want to trap outside so that I get the players outside, rather than being inside. I mean the opposition, rather than being inside and then something like that. Okay. Cross engagement. I want them to stop crosses. I don't want them to invite crosses in. So this situation will work where I have tall defenders, and then when I invite crosses, because I want to get possession, the crosses come in and my tall defenders are able to head it away. But no, rather than that, I don't even want those crosses to even come in at all, because they can come in and become very dangerous. Okay. So let me save all this. The mentality of the team, I want them to be very attacking. Please don't come here and play some sluggish kind of football. I don't do that. Okay. Yes, I think we've gotten all that's done and dusted. Save this tactic. Just save it. And then selection advice. Use the suggested squad for now. Just pick anybody, pick everybody and anybody you want. As time goes on, I would figure all these out. For now, it's not necessary. Then move on to the inbox. Okay, no, let's move on. Team preparation, injury risks. I really don't bother much about all this, and I wouldn't be arranging any friendly. Friendly for now. Cancel training camp. They should go for training, but no friendlies. Bristol City injury updates, squad selection rules. Mind you, these are also important when if I were to be playing this on my own and then just doing my own thing and things like that. But for all of us to enjoy all this, I wouldn't be doing all this. Social feed. I don't think. Anyways, let me leave this. Monthly staff meeting. Meeting frequency. I said every month. Okay, which is good. There are 6 topics they want to meet me about. So let's just attend the meeting. So one, they're talking about the suitability for captain. That I should make Zach Viner a centre back. That this will ensure that we have the most suitable captain and it may upset the current captain. The current captain is who? Although it could cause some reasons, that Matty James. So usually what you look for when it comes to someone being a captain is their leadership quality. So what leadership quality does Matty James have? He's 13. And then Zach Viner, 15. Obviously, he has more leadership quality than Matty James. I'm sorry, Matty James. Yes, he should upset you, no problem. The vice captain, leadership is 16. Go ahead, make vice captain. individual training to start. They want me to set up ball control for Matty James. Yeah, proceed to do it. Set up training trades for Roberts. Start your training for Sam Bell. Really don't need to bother about all these. Add coach assignments. Yeah, proceed. Start developing a weaker foot for Tom Conway. Proceed. Send on language course Stevan Bajic. Okay, proceed. I think high potential players. So these are some players that they would look for me to. They want me to sign actually. Let's see. Hayden Roberts, contract of Bristol City. Oh, so these are the ones I have high potential. Okay. Skip to staffing. So they think that this 58-year-old Steve Thompson will be suitable to fill the vacant under 21's assistant manager's role at the club. Okay. Cost of wages, fill the missing role. Usually, I just accept all this. Schedule a meeting for this. Do the same thing for this. A goalkeeping coach. Yeah, do the same thing for this. Do the same thing for this. That's fine. Hire scouts. Yes, I love having scouts around. I guess maybe they don't have scouts currently, so skip the meeting summary. So this is everything we talked about. Okay, end the meeting. Okay. Staff meeting. So for Steve Thompson, they want me to approach to sign him as an assistant manager. I will need that because I need someone who can help do other things that I would not have time to do, like the under 21s or 19s, loan contracts, things like that. Okay. Contract type full-time under 21s assistant manager, secondary job. Usually I just accept all this. I don't really bother about the wage for now. Okay. So I think my stuff is becoming slow. So for these contracts, I'm going to accept, all of them or almost all of them anyway. All right, so what would happen? This would be part 1 of this introduction. I don't know if we are going to be doing a part 2, but if there is, I would do that and send to you, or maybe just go straight to the thick of things by, let's having our first, match. Just start playing, matches in the league, and then we see how far we go. Obviously, the name of the club starts with a B, so I should be in the top 5 or top 6.